watching Aeolus Defense. Continuing with the ranch series where you may possibly have to mutually assist somebody that you care about, friend, family, situations that you may have to be a mutual assistance to somebody. So we have talked about shelter. We've talked about shelter for your backpack, tarps. So go back and watch that video of the 5 ways you can use a tarp and of the different shelter options and budget options, because that's the kit that you need inside of your pack. And then this is the kit that you would have with you for coming back as a base camp. So let's talk about this tent.
So this here is a Mountain Hardwear Archer 3 tent. It's a lightweight backpacking tent. So it's designed for 2 people. It's a 3-season tent, very lightweight. 2 guys carrying this, not a big deal. So if you had to go in for a little bit of time and you need a little more protection, either from the elements or like bugs and critters, this has got a good mosquito net, breathes real well. Really like this one in particular. It comes with a dark green, forest green rainfly, so it blends in well, but it's still a commercial, backpacking style tent, not quite like a military tent. But anyway, I have taken this tent personally throughout Alaska and Montana in the summertime, throughout different places in the Southwest, and really just different types of terrain from summer into early fall. If I think there's going to be a lot of wind and water, then I pick a different type of tent typically. But this is a great, almost year round, but like your 80% solution. It's lightweight, fits 2 people, so works really well there. If you need something bigger, you have a larger party, or you're just in a very austere environment that you're walking into. It's really cold, there's a lot of snow, a lot of wind and rain, high altitude mountaineering. Well, then you need to get a 4-season mountaineering tent, and they have a time and a place, but you typically pay a weight penalty and a little bit of a price penalty.
So right now, this current setup of a tent would not be one that we recommended that you kept inside your actual backpack, your 5-day backpack, unless you had to. So if you knew that you were going to be in a bunch of bugs, mosquitoes, those kind of environments, this would be great. Other than that, for the ranch series, I would put it as my base camp and then travel out from the base camp and use the shelter as needed. There are a lot of different other options. I like this option because it's light enough that if you had to carry it in your backpack, you could add the weight, and it's just a little heavier than the tarp itself. So makes a great option in that case. 2 people can fit in here. Remember, if you are at the ranch and you are mutually assisting somebody, if there's 2 of you or 4 of you, this would be great for 4 people, because 2 people would be sleeping while 2 people would be up, right? 24/7 security. So you might be sleeping, you might be up, right? Doesn't matter how it works. If you're in an environment where you're mutually assisting somebody, that's how you'd need to be. So this could ideally be for a team of 4 or a team of 2, either one. But this makes a great option to have. There are some other options like the Light Fighter kit. Light Fighter, if you're watching this, help us out. Send us some stuff. We want to use your kit because I think your kit's a good one. I'm just not 100% sure. Good reviews, but Light Fighter's one that I want to get next and look at.
All right, so I mentioned 3-season and 4-season tents. And the biggest difference between those 2 tents is kind of construction durability and the environment, obviously, right? Between the extra season, however you want to think of it. I have a 4-season tent, and it does not have as much breathability. It's not as lightweight, it's heavier duty. The rainfly covers more of it. This one does a really good job, which is why I picked it, because it does cover quite a bit. The 4-season will take a lot more wind load, will take a snow load, funny enough, and just a general pounding. Normally when you look at a 4-season tent, you're looking at a very traditional dome mountaineering tent. So the one that I have is also from Mountain Hardwear. It's a 4-season dome tent. To say that I've put that through hell is an understatement. I mean, literally snow to the point where I thought, no, we're gonna get buried in snow. Get out, knock some snow off, build it up. It's what they climb Everest with, right, as a base camp tent. So durable, bulletproof, that's a 4-season tent, but it's almost 10 pounds. So you definitely have to split that up amongst a few people, and typically they're gonna be a little bigger footprint. One thing I do wanna mention when we talk about is a 2-man, a 4-man, 3-season or 4-season, when you think of the environment that you're operating in and how long you may or may not be out there, you gotta think about your own creature comfort, but also you need to think about how much space am I gonna need? If it's constantly pouring rain, I need to be able to take care of changing my socks. Out here right now, I just sit down at the log and I can do that. Well, if it's pouring rain all the time, maybe you're in Pacific Northwest or Southwest Alaska or any of these other places that are like that, I gotta do that in my tent. Well, if there's 4 guys, we gotta huddle in that tent because the storm's blowing in, well, this isn't big enough. So think about how many people are in your party, and then maybe it's just your family. We talk about mutual assistance, but maybe I am the one that has to be, a hurricane came in and I have to move somewhere. I need to be in my tent. Well, hurricane, to say I've had a 4-season tent in a hurricane, I didn't do it in a hurricane, but it was 20 knot sustained winds for days. That was pretty legit. You know, we were seeing other tents break in that. So big difference between 3 and 4 season, and think about the size that you may need given your environment, because you may have to stay in the tent a lot more than you think.
All right, guys. So recapping the tent portion of this, the shelter and the tent portion of this. For the ranch, mutually assisting other people, I'd say your first goal that you should grab is the tarp and the whoopee. The second thing that you should grab is a 3-season or possibly 4-season. Remember, like in New Mexico where the wind blows 40 to 60 all of the time, you might need a 4-season just to hold up to the wind. So you need a tent so that you can use as your base camp. And then from there, you can progress. You can say, hey, maybe I've got a little bit better funding and I can afford an 8 or a 10-man tent, or I can afford a wall tent. Or maybe you need to look at where you're at. Maybe if you're in the Northwest and you're up by Montana or Alaska and you know that you're gonna go out in the wintertime, you need a hot tent. This is just to spark your mind, to get you to thinking that if I have to go mutually assist somebody, I need to be able to take care of myself and the people that are with me, and possibly some other people who didn't watch this series and weren't prepared for it. So we wanna make sure that we set you up to be successful and prepared in the event that you had to mutually assist somebody.
All right, guys, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, comment below, tell us what else you want to see, and stay tuned. We've got more great content coming. Thanks.